Alright, I'm going to cover Alexander the Great, the man who decided he was going to conquer the entire known world before he hit 33, and I'm going to cover it in under 4 minutes, so be ready. So Alexander was born in 356 BC in a little place called Macedonia, which was like an ancient northern Greece, but with way more swords and fewer vacation and beaches. His dad, King Philip II, was a total war genius who basically invented the idea of being unstoppable. His mom, Olympias, told him that he was a descendant from Achilles and that Zeus was actually his real dad. So that kind of put some pressure on him. And to make things scarier, he was tutored by Aristotle. So imagine your science teacher was literally Aristotle, the guy who invented like all of the philosophy that we know and practice today. So he really had no option but to be a very smart kid. And when he was only 20 years old, his dad got assassinated, leading him to become king, which everyone doubted him. But that was a big mistake. So he immediately crushed rebellions, secured the throne, and then grabbed his entire army and took it down to Persia, because apparently staying home and ruling Greece was just too boring for him. So he crashed into Asia with around 40,000 troops, and he just started winning every battle. Battle after battle. Granicus, he won. Issus, he won. Gaugamela, he won. And the one where he faced hundreds of thousands of Persians and still wrecked them, yeah, he won that one too. At this point, Alexander's killing streak was longer than the Iliad. So then he rolls into Egypt, and instead of fighting him, everyone just admitted that he was the one. They all loved him, and the priests there literally called him the son of Zeus. And then he was like, dude, someone finally gets me and understands where I'm coming from. And then he founds a city and names it Alexandria, because he kind of named everything right after himself because he was winning by that much. So by the end of this trip, there was like 20 Alexandrias at least, and he kind of invented franchise. But he doesn't stop. No, he marches into India. He's fighting elephants, jungles, monsoons, you name it, he's fighting. And his men at one point say like, can we just go home now, man? And Alexander literally goes, no, I'm not going back home. I don't want to. There's more to get. And then eventually they force him to turn back after they kind of tell him they won't fight anymore. And they turn back. So after years of non-stop war, Alexander returns to Babylon. He's only 32, but he's basically conquered everything there was to conquer at that time. And then, pretty big plot twist, he gets sick and dies. And just like that, there's no final epic battle, no heroic duel, literally just a fever that killed him. So after his death, his generals split the empire like kids fighting over food, and everything just fell apart after that. But his influence, that is what truly stuck. Greek culture, its language, its ideas, it all spread across 3 continents. This guy didn't just conquer land, but he conquered the entire timeline. I mean, over 2,000 years later, we're still talking about him, which is, in my opinion, quite legendary. So yeah, that's Alexander the Great. Just a man who kind of conquered the entire world just as a casual hobby. He lived fast, he fought very hard, and he named everything after himself. And honestly, I think that if confidence was illegal, he'd be in jail. If you want to know anything else about any other historic moment, drop a comment, and I will definitely make a video.